Hi, I'm Claire from clairekerslake.com. Today I'd like to talk about the concept act as if and how we can make that work in our lives. Let's look at that now. I'd like to start with a question. How do you view yourself? Do you view yourself as someone who struggles with perhaps weight loss or achieving your health goals? Or do you view yourself as someone who's fit and healthy, loving yourself and loving life? There's a quote from Tony Robbins that I just love, and I'll share it with you now. Tony says, "If you want to be successful, find someone who's achieved the results you want and copy that, and you'll achieve the same results." So it's an interesting concept, isn't it? And I'd like to talk about it from both a practical standpoint and a mindset standpoint. So from a practical standpoint, are there people in your lives who are where you want to be, health and fitness wise, for example? And you can ask them what it is they do, or you can simply notice. It can be really interesting. And is there anything that you can incorporate in your life? An example from my life is a friend and I went to a conference once. And at the time I was struggling to lose a few pounds. My friend, however, was trim, taut and terrific and looked fantastic. Lunchtime came around. My friend had brought some fruit from home, so she had a beautiful, nourishing lunch. I hadn't, so I hit the fast food vendor and came back with goodness knows what. It was, high fat, high salt, high calorie. It was going to taste good for about 5 minutes and then not. So my friend had made a choice that was going to nurture and nourish her body, and I hadn't. And that was a really good example. My choices were different to hers. So I was able to model some of what she was doing in my life. From a mindset point of view, just take a moment to imagine now how you'd feel if you've achieved your goal. So take a moment to imagine that. How do you think? How do you feel inside? How do you hold yourself? Do you move differently? Just taking a moment to imagine that can be really helpful. I'd like you to leave you today with 2 action items. One is to look around your life and find people who are where you want to be with your health and fitness. And watch what they do. You can ask them or you can simply observe. Is there anything that you can incorporate in your life? Just 1 or 2 small changes. And I'm all about the small changes that perhaps you can make in your life. It's going to make a real difference long term. The other thing, the second thing, is to do that mindset exercise. Imagine how it's going to feel when you've achieved your goal. Do you think differently? Do you move differently? What are your attitudes like? How does that feel? Are your choices any different? I'd love to hear your results in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd love you to head on over to the blog, clairekerslake.com, for more great articles and videos that can help you create awesome health in your life. Looking forward to touching base then.